Okay, what do we have here? This individual needs hope. And he says, if I manage to quit 4chan, porn, and masturbation, then how long would it take until my brain becomes somewhat normal again, considering I replace it with healthy stuff like lifting and meditation? Yeah, well, you got a lot of unhealthy habits going on there. And I'm not trying to present myself as a saint, by the way. I'm just saying it's not a secret that hanging out excessively on 4chan or any place on the internet, whether it's video games or message boards or Twitter, spending, hours and hours a day on the internet is not healthy. Two, porn and masturbation, which are, I'm not even going to say closely related, they just overlap to a very large degree. So, how can you get control over those habits? That's a matter of desensitization, and the longer you can go without it, the less you'll want it. It's an addiction, just like any other addiction. So you got to do the whole starting streaks method, where it starts with, okay, I'm going to not do this today. I'm not even going to make the commitment that I can do this, not do it for a whole week. I'm not there yet. I'm still so addicted that I got to do it often. So where I'm going to start with, where I'm going to be realistic with myself and my actual capabilities based on my track record, I'm going to start with saying I'm not going to do that thing today. I'm not going to spend 4 hours on 4chan. I'm not going to jerk off to whatever it is that you keep jerking off to today. And that's where you start. And then tomorrow, when you have a relapse, because you probably will, you don't go and chastise yourself and beat yourself with mental whips about how much of a failure you are. You make the promise again, and you make it with sincerity. And so the next day you wake up, and maybe you relapse again, and you keep doing this. You have a reminder every day to reset the goal, and eventually you're actually going to obey yourself because you get tired of feeling like a failure every day. And then you'll have that 1 day streak. And you'll actually be somewhat proud of yourself for not resorting and sliding back to the same mindset and the same guilty habits that you always have. And that 1 day streak will turn into a 2 day streak. And eventually a week-long streak. And then you'll relapse. And you'll feel even worse about it because you're like, damn, if that's the first time I ever made it to a whole week without porn, and then I went and blew it, literally. And so you got to be mindful to not go inward and do that thrashing of your own self. You got to forgive. This is where spirituality does play a very large component, because dealing with failure and disappointment in yourself is very hard when you're trying to do it all yourself. And the reaction for most people is to try to look for support in other places and other people, or in substances. We talked about that earlier, about people thinking that they need support before they can stop being fat. They need support before they can stop jerking off. All of these things, these changes are going to have to come from within. And the only individual that you can talk to other than yourself to find support and to find solace when you do fall off the wagon is God. He's the only other thing that's out there available to you 24/7, 911 call whenever you want it. I suggest anytime that you have that relapse and you're feeling bad about yourself and you realize, man, I'm having a lot of negative self-talk right now. I'm sitting here blaming myself for doing the things that I knew I was going to do and not avoiding the temptations that I know are going to be there. Like Diz just said, if you're on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok, the temptation is just, it's overwhelming. It's everywhere. Like you can just go to your Facebook and all you want to do is see if your dad posted something or see if one of your family members posted something, and there's going to be some chick with her tits out, and there you go. You're like, fuck, here we are again. So it's a matter of self-discipline to not let that stimulus become the downward spiral that has you pulling up Pornhub or going over to 4chan. That's a matter of self-discipline. You have to learn how to handle temptation. And that's what you'll see in terms of like the payoff of devoting yourself to the fitness lifestyle. To succeed in the fitness lifestyle, which means exercise and nutrition, you have to have self-discipline. You will not gain the muscle you want to gain if you don't have the discipline to eat the right amount of protein and to actually do your gym sessions. And so this is the beauty of how it's all connected, is that yes, being fit gives you a cool physique, and yes, it makes you physically healthy, but the mental discipline and the fortitude that you gain from delaying gratification over and over again and saying, I'm not going to eat that food, I'm going to eat the right food. I'm not going to skip the gym, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm not going to get wasted on the weekend with a bunch of alcohol because I know that's sabotaging my gains. Every time you make those better decisions, you're instilling self-discipline in yourself. So then, when it comes to breaking some other unhealthy bad habit that you have, such as being addicted to porn, you can apply that same level of self-discipline that says, okay, I just had the temptation just showed up on my screen, however it came about. But you know what? I know for a fact that I have self-discipline because I've done it. I've done the successful dieting. I lost the fat. I put on the muscle. I didn't skip the gym sessions. I know I'm a human being who has self-discipline. And so there you go. Like suddenly now you're talking out loud, promoting yourself, not beating yourself up. You're painting yourself in a positive light. That's self-affirmative positive talk. And it's not just blowing smoke up your ass. Like you actually have evidence to point to that says, yeah, you know, I do have proof that I have self-discipline, and that proof is in the dieting and the fitness that I've been following. And so you can, start working on all that doubt that you had of whenever you have a deeply rooted addiction, you have a real doubt. Am I ever going to be able to quit this thing? Like I'm addicted to cigarettes, addicted to nicotine. Am I ever going to be able to kick that addiction? I'm addicted to overeating. I'm addicted to porn. I'm addicted to gambling. Addiction comes in a zillion different ways. And it's going to be self-discipline that breaks any given addiction. So, you kind of figure out the secret to life, and the secret to being healthy in all regards is self-discipline. And that's taught through the fitness lifestyle.